Thank you everyone for joining us for the SECA Virtual Charity Fair. We have all of the federations represented here today to talk to you a little bit about their organizations. Our first speaker today will be America's Charities.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Lindsay and I'm representing America's Charities today. Just a moment while I share my screen. Okay. How is it looking to you guys? There we go. I think we're all good. All right, so mobilizing the power of giving. Yep, there we go. Sorry, there was a bit of a lag. My apologies. There are real challenges around us, not just in the countries around the world, but here in our local communities, each of us call home. Like problems we see are affording life-saving procedures, prescriptions, and preventative health care, providing nutritious food and a warm, safe place to live for our families, a quality education, and equitable opportunities for our children, providing America's wounded veterans the mental health, career counseling, and long-term rehabilitative care that they deserve when they return home, creating sustainable solutions that make environmental and economic sense, protecting wildlife and confronting cruelty to animals, responding to natural disasters and showing up to help our neighbors, and uniting our communities to stand up against hate and malice and fight human rights and social justice. So we run the full gamut of social responsibility. So our impact, we have, since our inception, I believe in 1980, we've raised more than $850 million, and that has impacted 25,000 nonprofits and individuals directly. Our members include some of the most reputable nonprofits in America, addressing the full spectrum of problems facing our nation and a nation around the world, including education, human rights, hunger, poverty, health, research, animal welfare, veterans, the environment, and disaster relief. Some of our incredible members include Alzheimer's disease research, ACLJ, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Southern Poverty Law Center, FOS Feminista, which used to be known as International Planned Parenthood of the Western Hemisphere region, and a full range of incredible organizations. By donating to America's Charities and our nonprofit members, you can have a transformative impact at work collectively with your colleagues and other employees across the country to tackle these challenges effectively and compassionately together. And thank you for your time.
Thanks, Lindsay. Our next speaker is from UNCF.
You're on. Great if I would unmute. Thank you. Good morning. Let's see if I can share my screen.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. And you get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
So, good morning. My name is Lisa Rollins, and I work for the United Negro College Fund. And our mission is basically to provide a pipeline for students to attend, not just to attend college, but to finish college and help them to become competitive in their careers. So United Negro College Fund has been around for 79 years. In the start, 1944, we were founded by Dr. Frederick Patterson and Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, who founded the university that I attended, Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida, where we entered to learn and we departed to serve. So the impact that UNCF has and HBCUs, although we only represent 3% of all 2- and 4-year colleges and universities, we enroll 10% of all undergraduates. We produce 19% of all graduates, and 24% of all bachelor's degrees in STEMs are earned by African Americans annually at our institutions. So these are facts that you would need to know from Illinois, and that is that the total scholarships that we awarded in the state of Illinois are 448. In the city of Chicago, the number was 236. The total students were 384. So your question might be, why are there more scholarships than students? Because a number of the students get more than one scholarship. We found in our research that it costs $5,000 to make a difference. So a number of these kids apply for 1, 2, or 3. The important thing is that over the past fiscal school year, we gave away $3.4 million, and the average scholarship amount of each of those was $7,600. In the city of Chicago, we gave $2.3 million, and the average amount was almost $10,000. This is our list of the 37 UNCF member institutions, and I think that it's important to note that although these are our member institutions, we do fund colleges based on the donations of the gifts, and most of our scholarships read with preference to an HBCU or any other 4-year accredited university. So any support you can give us or give our students, we are greatly appreciate, and we thank you. And I think the exciting news is that in January of 2024, you'll be able to purchase the bingo ticket and you'll be helping UNCF. We'll have approximately, we're thinking close to another $1 million to give out through the state of Illinois. And that's not just to go to HBCUs. Currently, we fund students in the state of Illinois that go to University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, Northwestern, DePaul, and Loyola. So thank you very much for your support.
Lisa. Our next speaker is from American Cancer Society.
Hi, everyone. Can you see my screen? Great. I'm Carrie O'Brien. I'm with the American Cancer Society. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. Wanted to start off today with a little video about ACS to show kind of what we do in our main mission. Drag over for you guys.
At the American Cancer Society, we exist to end cancer as we know it, for everyone. Everyone, like the 1 in 2 men or 1 in 3 women still at risk of getting cancer in their life, a reality that only motivates us to do more. Like funding breakthrough cancer research and using advocacy to effect meaningful change. More like enhancing patient access to quality care and supporting patients in their cancer journey, all with the sole purpose of ensuring everyone has an opportunity to prevent, detect, treat, and survive cancer. From our dedicated ACS team members to our cherished volunteers and partners, we won't stop until we're able to have a meaningful impact on every cancer and every life. That's why we do all that we do. From our Hope Lodge communities, providing a home away from home for people with cancer and their caregivers, to our work to close the Medicaid gap to ensure affordable treatments and access for all via our American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. It's why we've funded billions in research, contributing to 3.5 million less cancer deaths. And that's only scratching the surface of all that we do. Our organization isn't one that just talks. We act. And when we act, we affect millions of cancer journeys every day. Together, let's continue to take on every cancer and change every life. American Cancer Society. Every cancer, every life.
At ACS, as mentioned in that video, we are focused on every cancer, every life. We know that 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. I don't know about you, but for me, that hits really close to home. That's a family member, a friend, a coworker, a neighbor, someone that I know, knowing that they're going to be hearing those words, "You have cancer," is really impactful, and knowing that we have to come together as a community to make sure that no one ever hears those words. And if they do, they know that there are resources and there are available options to them, provided by ACS, locally and nationally. So even with those large staggering facts of 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men, we know that at ACS, a lot of the work that we have been able to do is because of donations and volunteers and people in the community raising awareness, even talking about screening, investing in research. With all of that said, we have been able to move the needle. There have been over 3.8 million cancer deaths averted in 2023. We've seen a 65% reduction rate in cervical cancer rates in women, and that's because we've been able to provide more information about screening and fighting for access to screening to make sure that every woman has the opportunity to get free or reduced cost screening so that they can prevent cervical cancer. We are focused on cancer screenings in underserved communities. And we've also seen a 32% drop in overall cancer mortality since 1991. A lot of that is due to what we're doing right now, working together with donors like you and volunteers in the community. We are hard at work at supporting people with cancer at every step of their cancer journey. So that's whether they're looking for information or they have a family member who wants to know about cancer. We have a 24/7, 365 cancer line. It's called National Cancer Information Center. Someone can call up, they can ask questions, they can go through a diagnosis, they can find resources locally available to them. We have free rides to treatment through our Road to Recovery program, where people can call up and get matched with a volunteer. Oftentimes, transportation is the #1 barrier to care. We find that, oftentimes people don't realize that if you're going for chemo or radiation, it could be, 4 days a week over 6 weeks or 8 weeks. And it might be in the middle of the day. You might have family members who are working full-time jobs and are unable to take you at 2 o'clock. ACS can match you with a volunteer who can take you to that treatment to make sure you're not missing it. Another program that we have is our Hope Lodge program. Again, traveling to treatment can often be a huge barrier and a huge financial burden for people if their treatment is outside of their city limits or if it's another state away. The Hope Lodge is a place where that they can stay that's free to them and they can just focus on their treatment. It's a home away from home. Another thing that we have is our ACS Can Action Network, and that's really what we're doing to fight for access to care. So we're working with local lawmakers, other organizations to increase Medicaid coverage, to increase diversity in clinical trials. And then another arm that we are working on is our research arm, our discovery. We've been part of major breakthroughs, everything from mammography screenings to tamoxifen, which is a cancer-fighting drug. So making sure that we are funding the best and brightest researchers. In 2022 alone, we had over $60 million invested in health disparities research, to making sure that we're addressing disparities in clinical trials, that we are focusing on all communities and making sure that we are moving the needle there. So when you make a donation, what does that actually look like to ACS? I won't go through everything on here because it's a long list. But a few things that I like to point out is as simple as $25. So if you're making a $5 donation 5 times, that provides a one-on-one match through our Reach Recovery program, where someone who is currently facing a breast cancer diagnosis is paired with a breast cancer survivor. And they can speak and connect one-on-one to talk through anything that that person may be going through in their cancer journey. It's extremely meaningful, and it's a great way for someone who is on their cancer journey to connect with someone who's experienced that and lived through that and talk through any trials or tribulations that they may be going through. The last one I'll do is that $10. That could provide that 24/7 helpline that I provided. If anything from today, that number is on the last slide. Please take that with you. I've used it myself. I know a ton of my coworkers and community members have. If you have questions, if you want to find local resources, if any of the programs that I talked about today, someone will be on the other end of that line and be able to connect you. And $10 could help to provide one person who calls in information that they may need and guidance that they may need, either through their cancer journey or as a caregiver or as a community member. Perfect. So in addition, I also wanted to take a few minutes to talk about volunteering and some opportunities that you can get involved with locally. In addition to, making a donation. If you're ever interested in attending an ACS event or getting involved, we have our volunteer community. This is where you can go to cancer.org/volunteer. You can type in your zip code and you can see what is happening locally. We have everything from our ACS CAN. So if you're interested in the advocacy arm, if you want to attend an event, if you're looking for some way to get engaged, this is a great community space that you can connect with the American Cancer Society. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you allowing me to be here today and speaking on behalf of ACS.
Thank you. And our next speaker is Special Olympics.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kimberly Bright. I am representing Special Olympics Illinois, and I have a quick little presentation here. See if I can share my screen, if it'll work. It's definitely a challenge for me, that's for sure. All right, let's see if this works. Can you see it okay? All right. Can you guys see that okay?
Yep. Good.
Okay, thanks. Sorry. So Special Olympics Illinois, we provide year-round sports training and athletic competition in 18 different sports for children and adults with intellectual disabilities. We give them the opportunity to develop physical fitness and demonstrate courage, experience joy, and participate and share their gifts, skills, and friendship with their family and other Special Olympics athletes and the community. Of course, sports is one of our biggest. Whoops, hold on. Now I'm struggling to get this to, there we go. Is of course the most well-known part of what we do here at Special Olympics Illinois. We're a global leader in shaping a culture where people with and without intellectual disabilities are fully integrated into the community. We provide them with opportunities not only in those competitive sports, but also in health education, leadership, and personal development. So because the sports part of what we do is pretty well known, as I mentioned earlier, there are 18 sports and we have over 55,000 athletes and unified partners. But today I wanted to touch a little bit on the less known aspects of what we do here at Special Olympics Illinois. So our athlete leadership program really provides our athletes with public speaking skills, opportunities to serve on various community boards, our board of directors. We provide them with leadership training. So a little bit about some of that. We really empower our athletes through this program. They can become mentors for other athletes. They are also coaches and officials for our sporting events. We also offer them membership in our board of directors and some of the committees that we serve, especially with our fundraising committees. We provide opportunities. We want our athletes to be involved in everything that we do here at Special Olympics Illinois. So we provide them with public speaking opportunities. I mean, what better way to learn about what we do than to hear it directly from one of our athletes? So it's a really big part of what we do. We also provide health programming. And believe it or not, Special Olympics Illinois is the #1 health organization for individuals with intellectual disabilities. We provide 6 different health screening programs throughout our state. Our physical therapy is fun fitness. We have hearing. We have sports physical exams, vision, healthy promotion, dentistry. We provide a variety of opportunities for our athletes to stay healthy and stay physically active, not only with our sports, but other things that we do throughout the state. In particular, our MedFest events are a really big part of what we do when it comes to keeping our athletes healthy and providing them with opportunities to compete. We provide free sports physicals. We have volunteer physicians and nurses and medical students that provide that. Usually, our MedFest is in the Chicago area, and that's really our largest MedFest event in the world. We do have MedFest in other areas of Illinois, but in particular, arenas and gymnasiums is the best place to hold those. A lot of our agencies will bus our athletes in from various locations to be able to participate in these. And in some cases, it's the only opportunity they will have to get a sports physical. And we, of course, require that to make sure that our athletes are healthy to be able to participate in the sport that they would like to participate in. So this is kind of how we are organized. We have hundreds of agencies throughout Illinois that work with us to provide outreach for our athletes. We have 11 different regions. Within each region of our state, we provide Special Olympics representatives, program staff. We have staff all over the state in those 11 different regions. And we provide not only the sporting events in those regions, but fundraising opportunities as well. And then our chapter is associated with the Special Olympics North America, and then of course, Special Olympics International. The best way to really learn about our impact is to learn about stories from our athletes, directly from our athletes. So I will be providing this literature in the chat when we're all done today. It just kind of gives you a little bit of a story about Amanda and Abby. The two of them have recently participated in our foundation golf event and provided assistance and got to show off some of their skills at that event up in the Chicago area. So I'll send that and connect you with that. Ways for you to get involved. Certainly volunteering across the state. We can't do it without our volunteers. We have coaches we have volunteers that do coaching and mentoring and fundraising and all sorts of things. Certainly workplace giving is a key area of fundraising for us. We have regional and state competitions that you can get involved in. You can even provide coaching and maybe be a unified partner for one of our athletes who would like to do unified sports. You can participate and help serve on committees for our fundraising events. You can fundraise with your teams and friends and relatives. And we also have a variety of young professionals, opportunities, leadership council. And then you can also provide career training opportunities for our athletes as well. We are working with some amazing partners to help with job readiness for our athletes and provide them with an opportunity for employment. So I think that pretty much sums it up, and I really appreciate the time. And if you have any questions, I will put my information in the chat for everyone to reach out to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Pet Partners.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being with us and being interested in supporting your community. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Let me know if you can see this. Wonderful. Well, I'm Chelsea. I'm with Pet Partners. Pet Partners is a national nonprofit organization that registers therapy animal teams. So it is a person with either their pet or a close friend or relative's animal that they go into the community and volunteer with. So Pet Partners was started back in 1977 when a group of psychiatrists and veterinarians got together to study what is now known as the human-animal bond. Basically, this group of people were like, we love our animals. We feel so good when we walk through the door and we see their face, or if we're walking down the street and there's a cute dog there, it just makes our day. And they wanted to study that feeling a little bit more. And so they coined that term human animal bond and really delve into that and realize that there are a lot of physiological benefits to time spent with animals. And that's how Pet Partners got started in our therapy animal program. So Pet Partners, one of the most unique aspects about us versus other therapy animal organizations is we actually register more than just dogs. As you can see, there are 9 different species here that we do register, and the ones that are chosen are done because of research. Basically, the chosen species have all been selected because there has been enough research done to really understand the physical and facial cues that these animals give off so that we can guarantee that the animal is enjoying the visit they're doing, that they don't feel stressed out, that, you know, hopefully their handler can tell if maybe a kid is petting a dog too roughly, and they can see that on the dog's face that they're not quite enjoying this, and then figure out how to re-navigate that situation and re-educate whoever that client is into making it a more positive interaction for both the person and the animal. In Illinois, we have cat teams, equine, so horses, and dogs. And so our volunteers are not restricted to a specific type of facility. They are allowed to visit anywhere they want. There are facilities that we visit more frequently, like schools, libraries, hospitals, hospice centers, VA centers, and retirement communities. But like I said, our volunteers often go to all of those and more, and they can go to them as often as every day. We do capped at 2 hours, but they can do it at whatever time increments they want, whether it's once a week, once a month, whatever works for their schedule and for their animal. Yeah. So we have a few initiatives that I'll touch on. The first is Read With Me. This is a program that started because we realized that, you know, children can often be self-conscious while reading out loud and practicing with adults or teachers or guardians of a sense. But they've relaxed when they're reading with animals. And so we started Read With Me to encourage these therapy animal teams to go to elementary schools, to English as second language study places and libraries where people can practice reading with the animal. And that actually has shown that it builds their self-confidence because they don't feel the pressure of potentially messing up when they're reading to an animal. They just want to read to it and they want that unconditional love that the animal gives to them. Another one of our initiatives is AACR. It's our Animal Assisted Crisis Response Team. So these teams are specially educated on responding to crisis and high emotional situations. So they will often go to communities after a school shooting, or they will go to a workplace after maybe an employee has passed away, or down to Florida after one of the big hurricanes to work alongside the Red Cross in a lot of these situations to bring that sense of comfort. Our AACR teams generally don't show up to these crisis situations within the first 24 or 48 hours like you do see with Red Cross. We'll show up maybe like 5-7 days later when a lot of those emergency response organizations start to pull out, that's when we come in and we support those communities in those next several weeks and months to help them get back to their new sense of normalcy and really help support them as they go back to everyday life after the emergency responders have left. And then our last initiative that I'll touch on is our Walk With Me program. So Walk With Me was started as a way to promote physical activity with animals. This is used a lot of the time in retirement communities to encourage people to get up and get active. It's used in physical therapy offices and occupational therapy offices for people who might need a little extra motivation. You know, someone who just had a major surgery or had an amputation and is relearning to walk, having an animal there that they can hold a leash for and walk with them and kind of enjoy that companionship really makes a difference. And this initiative has been so successful and so enjoyed that we also started our big annual fundraising event, the world's largest pet walk, which just happened this past weekend actually, which really encourages people to go out there with their pets or with just their community and get active in the community. And so the way that you can help us create an impact is, of course, through donation or through volunteering. If you've heard all this and you're like, I have a wonderful animal at home, I would love to spend my time volunteering with my community, please reach out to us. We're always looking for more volunteers. If you have an animal at home that you're like, I love them, but they're not quite right for this, or you just want to be able to interact with more animals, we're happy to always have volunteers come out to workplaces, to your children's schools, to parent or grandparents, retirement community, or any other facility or event you may be hosting. We are more than happy to provide volunteers to be there and help people enjoy their moments. So again, my name's Chelsea, I'm with Pet Partners, and I will drop my information in the comments in case you have any questions and want to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you. And our next speaker is from Black United Fund of Illinois.
Good morning, I'm Carolyn Day, and thank you so much for taking the time out to hear from us. We are a 38-year-old organization with close to 50 affiliates that provide services throughout the state of Illinois, from counseling from girls to the Alpha Kappa Alpha Foundation to historical art centers to the DuSable Museum. We very recently are proud to include the Invictus Foundation, that is also a new partner for us. But more importantly, we'd like to talk about our response to COVID. And as a result, we created an equestrian program. So if I could share my screen, just one second. Can everyone see? Hello, I'm Carolyn Day, and I am the Executive Director of the Black United Fund of Illinois, affectionately known as Buffy, B-U-F-I. We're an organization that's over 35 years old that is a federation of affiliates founded on helping people help themselves and within the African American and Black community of self-sufficiency and self-reliance. As you know, during the pandemic, we've had a lot of civil unrest and a lot of social injustice responses. As a result, we created a summer equestrian program to take approximately 20 students out of the city 3 days a week to understand horsemanship, to understand the art of communication, to learn discipline and a feeling of safety. That program has evolved to get a lot of attention, which created us to have an opportunity to talk more about the Black United Fund of Illinois.
My name is Gilbert. Today, I'm having fun. I came here to see versus, and I got to see more than I came before. I came to see ghosts and llamas, and I see pigs. I never even seen a llama before, but today I've seen it, and it's been a fun day.
My name is Daryl Phillips. I'm the CEO and founder of the Stony Island Equine Center. Stony Island Equine Center was developed as a way of mental health therapy for inner city kids and their ways to deal with trauma and to help them deal with anger. So the program uses equine therapy, which is the horses, to help them. It's a tool, to help them deal with trauma, and it's a way we use it as steps to show them exercises. So they'll learn about the care, the grooming, then how to ride a horse, and then they understand that using a horse helps them because it's something that depends on them.
So we have been exceptionally proud of our programming. One of the founding organizations in this area that has been the pillar of a lot of emerging community organizations. And we have a signature program, the Safe Passage program, which provides safety for children as they travel to and from school. Our founder was Henrietta English, along with Conrad Warwell, Bernard Williams, and Professor Bob Starks. We are very proud. In the past, we've had Upward Bound, which is a part of the TRIO program, academic development for first-generation college students. So we have found that the ripple effect of helping children and families have been really large throughout the state of Illinois. And we continue to encourage the holistic family approach. We continue to encourage arts and culture. We're very proud of our Juneteenth celebration that we've been doing and maintaining some of our traditional structure within our culture to encourage and uplift children and family within the community. So the Black United Fund of Illinois' motto is helping people help themselves, and ultimately mentoring non-for-profits to become self-sufficient and understanding the compliance issues and concerns in terms of maintaining non-for-profits. So we just ask for your continued support. We started a kickoff, this is our 4th year for our Buffy Bikes the Shore, which is UJAMA, which means cooperative economics. And that will be this Sunday, October 1st here at the Black United Fund, 1809 East 71st Street. And that's the kickoff to, again, increase the awareness about the campaign. We thank you again for your time, and my information is in the chat.
Thank you. And our next speaker is from Global Impact.
Nice to be here with you all. Excited to speak with you today. My name is Jillian. I'm with Global Impact. We are one of the Federation charities in the SECA campaign. Our mission is to inspire greater giving for global causes. So think about international charities and issues in the campaign when you think about us. As I said, this is our mission. We've generated nearly $2 billion for global causes. We have charities in our federation like CARE, Save the Children, UNICEF, International Rescue Committee, and more. All of them are devoted to delivering life-saving support to people around the world. The needs are really great. Nearly 650 million people are living on less than $2.15 a day. So when we talk about giving global, we're really talking about a very far-reaching impact. Our dollars go a long way in reducing poverty and creating a better world. Our charities work on anything you're passionate about, whether that's supplying clean water, supporting refugees, empowering women and girls, alleviating poverty, educating kids, all of that and more. We ask that you be what we call global champions in the SECA campaign and making a difference in the world. I've got a video here that's gonna hopefully play. you saw yourselves reflected in that video a little bit, which might be the global champion. I also want to mention that many of our charities respond in crisis situations. I get a lot of questions about this. We have charities that are working with the conflict in Ukraine, the situation in Afghanistan, the earthquake that hit Turkey and Syria earlier this year. We also have charities that are responding right now in Morocco and Libya. And low-income countries are disproportionately affected by natural disasters and crises because they don't have the same systems and finances in place to respond or bounce back quickly. So when you support our charities through SECA, you're helping them, launch really quick, agile responses, getting where they need to go, where the needs are greatest, but also helping with long-term, rebuilding efforts and resilience efforts. I'll put this link in the chat, but you can learn more about Global Impact and our charities by visiting this QR code on the screen, charity.org/give. We've got a really fun personality of giving quiz. There's a lot of options when giving in the campaign, and so this quiz is kind of meant to help you figure out what's right for you. So please don't hesitate to reach out with questions. I'll put my contact information, but thank you for your commitment to the campaign and to all of the charities in the campaign. We rely on you to fund this work, and we're just so appreciative of your time, and thanks for being here.
Thank you. Our next speaker is from EarthShare.
Hello, everyone, and thank you on behalf of all charities in SECA for taking the time out of your day to support the campaign. My name is Diego Orfin, and I am the program manager for the campaigns department at EarthShare. EarthShare is America's oldest and largest coalition of environmental and conservation organizations, empowering individuals, businesses, and nonprofits to come together and take positive action for the planet. Over our 35-year history, we've mobilized more than $375 million for environmental progress. That might seem like a big number, but our work isn't done. The issue of the climate crisis is complicated, but the core idea is this: human actions are putting an alarming amount of stress on our environment. Since the Industrial Revolution 200 years ago, humans have released an estimated 1.5 trillion tons of CO2 pollution into the atmosphere, along with other toxic substances. The Industrial Revolution was when humans first started using machines to create goods, burning coal, a fossil fuel, for energy. As a result, the Earth's average surface temperature has gone up by about 2 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the hottest the planet has been at any time in the last 100,000 years. So, what does this mean for our health and future? According to the World Health Organization, the climate crisis is the single biggest threat to human health. It's estimated that by 2050, climate change will cause around 250,000 additional deaths per year. Around the globe, we'll see more intense droughts, water scarcity, severe fires, rising sea levels, flooding, melting polar ice, catastrophic storms, and declining biodiversity, which is estimated to cause 1.2 billion people, also known as climate refugees, to be displaced from their homes. And the financial cost as it relates to health, an estimated $820 billion is already being spent on a yearly basis in the United States alone. It's important to recognize that the actions we take today do not end with us. And although the impacts of climate change can feel overwhelming, the silver lining is that we have time to take action. This is why we are so grateful for the opportunity to speak to you on behalf of our partner organizations who are working on the front lines of the environmental movement across the country, as well as here in your own backyard. Recently, our partners managed to protect more than 17,000 acres of natural land in Illinois to provide clean air and water for people, plants, and animals, restore 150,000 acres of pollinator habitats on farms, protect nearly 4 million square miles of ocean habitat, and plant 1.3 million trees. For context, the ocean and trees are two of the most effective natural carbon capturers we have to combat the climate crisis, and pollinator habitats are essential for agriculture. Everything our nonprofit partners do, protecting air, land, water, food, and wildlife, growing grassroots and community commitments, and educating policymakers and the public, has purpose, but it also requires financial resources. This is why the most critical contribution you can make to the planet is your donation. There's no easier way for you to help make a powerful difference all year long than through workplace giving. Pledging the same amount as the cost of a streaming service can achieve amazing things. For example, $1 per pay period plants 24 trees. $2 per pay period enables farmers to implement practices that help combat the climate crisis. And $10 per pay period offsets your estimated annual carbon footprint. You can certainly do a lot with your donation, and these are only a few examples. It's time to be a champion for the organizations and causes that address the climate crisis affecting each and every one of us. On behalf of everyone at EarthShare, as well as all participating nonprofits in SECA, we sincerely appreciate your time today. Your workplace campaign represents so many deserving causes, and I'm sure you can find one or more that speaks to your heart, values, and hopes for the future. Remember, every dollar you pledge today truly makes a difference. Together, we're helping protect our planet for all future generations. Thank you for your time, and I'll drop my contact information in the chat if you have any questions.
Thank you. And I will be speaking next about Community Shares of Illinois. All right, Community Shares is a charitable federation. There we go. All right, we have member organizations that work to address a variety of issues across the state of Illinois. Our members promote animal welfare, provide housing, prevent homelessness, conserve our environment, foster arts, culture, and humanities, improve health and nutrition, empower our community, and work to create a just society. Our members focus on long-term solutions. They address the root causes of the social problems facing our neighborhoods, our communities, and our state by providing education, promoting healthcare, sheltering animals, empowering women and children, working to advance home ownership, advocating for individual rights, and working to end discrimination and violence. We have members that work in animal welfare, providing safe shelter, medical and social rehabilitation, stimulating habitats, and positive placement for companion animals in Illinois. We have members that work to address housing, making sure that all Illinoisans have access to safe and affordable housing, striving to eliminate unfair housing practices, protect tenant rights, and advocate for the prevention and elimination of homelessness and the advancement of home ownership. We have member organizations working to improve our local environment, engaging Illinoisans in stewardship and the conservation of our natural resources. We have member organizations that focus on the arts, ensuring that all Illinoisans have access to community-owned art and media that reflect all the members of our vital and vibrant community. Member organizations work to address healthcare and eliminate food insecurity. And members that work to reach underserved communities through community partnerships and outreach, transforming and developing investment in sustainable programs. And members who work to envision a more inclusive and equitable Illinois with broader access to social and economic opportunities, with equal recognition of civil, legal, and human rights, and respect for all. Our SECA code number is 903, and you can find community shares in all of our wonderful member organizations in your SECA guide. And our final speaker today is from United Way.
All right. Thank you, Carrie, very much. I appreciate the introduction. So my name is Jared Brown. I am the Director of Resource Development for United Way of Central Illinois. And I'm actually here to talk to you about United Ways across the state of Illinois today. Let me just make sure this is, there we go. So as a network, United Way partners with more than 1,500 Illinois charities, all of whom are health and human service providers or social service providers, or community level groups. We're the largest private funder of social service organizations in the world, in the United States, in Illinois, and within most communities. So when you think about local giving and you think about those services that wrap around individuals in your community, United Way is normally serving as the convener of those services and working to support those services at a local level. Now, as an organization, as a network, our focus is on mobilizing communities to close gaps and to open opportunities so that everyone can thrive. And that means that we work across 4 different issue areas statewide, and that is basic needs, education, financial stability, and health. I often tell people that, the reason why we focus on basic needs as an organization is because, United Way wants to make sure that any family that's in crisis or any individual that needs help has access to emergency food, emergency shelter, and other disaster response services. So we want to make sure that first and foremost, when a family's in crisis, that they're able to find help. But then we also focus on those other issue areas because they really provide the building blocks for a good quality of life. They provide the programs and services that wrap around a family to help lift them out of poverty, that wrap around an individual who may be suffering from addiction or may have been a victim of violence. We want to make sure that those services exist within our community and within each of your communities. Now, when we say that United Way is local, what do we mean? Well, what we mean is very simply this, that every United Way is its own independent organization. We're a network of independent organizations. So within Illinois, there are 52 different United Ways that provide services in every county across the state of Illinois. When you make a gift to your local United Way, those dollars are staying local, they're staying within your community, and they're helping your neighbors. The decisions that United Way makes, whether it's funding decisions or operational decisions, are all made at a local level. So for us here in the Springfield area, we have board members from the state of Illinois, from the city of Springfield, from our local school districts, from our local businesses, that are all working to help make those decisions and look at what the needs of our community are. And it's that way inside your local United Way. Our focus is solely upon what the needs of our community are and how we can help people. So as an organization, United Way can often be very difficult for people to understand. A lot of times it's viewed as simply a pass-through to other charities. But in reality, your local United Way is working to do 2 things. They're working to make sure that people can find the help that they need, and that we're bringing together our local nonprofits to solve problems and build capacity within our communities. And so across the state, you'll find that we provide 211, which is one of the 3 phone numbers that we tell people that they should know. So of course, 911 is that number that you call for in case of an emergency. 988 is a simple and easy number to remember if you ever know someone or find yourself in a situation which involves suicide or a mental health crisis. And then 211, which is an easy to remember number that anyone can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and find a trained specialist who will walk them through what their needs are. So it may be someone calling for utility assistance, it may be someone calling for rental assistance or childcare or transportation. That number there is there to help connect people in your community to the services in that community that can provide that help today. I will say that not the entire state of Illinois is covered by 211 yet, but we're working with the state of Illinois to make sure that every county is covered within the next 2 to 3 years. This year, we were able to finally launch 211 through our partnerships with the city of Chicago and Cook County in order to finally get that number on the ground in the Chicago area. But beyond just making sure people can find the help that they want, we're here to solve problems. And so United Way listens to what our community's needs are. We bring together people to look at what are the toughest challenges which exist in our community and what's the data surrounding those challenges. And then we prioritize needs and determine where is it that we can make the greatest difference. And then we bring together nonprofit partners in order to design solutions to help tackle those situations. And so, you know, if you are one of the state employees in the Springfield area here, you've probably heard quite a bit about homelessness and our homeless strategic plan over the past couple of years. So it's been United Way and several of our close collaborative partners who actually helped to bring that homeless strategic plan into the community, and is now working to make sure that we have sufficient funding in order to expand those services and in order to make sure all of our service providers are on the same page. Now, within SECA, you guys have some choices. You'll find in the back of your book or on the online database that you can make a gift to United Way. And if you do make a gift to United Way, you're making one gift that is supporting multiple programs in the community where you live. You can make a gift to your issue area if your local United Way has those listed, or you can make a gift to any of our 1,500 local partner agencies across the state of Illinois. Within both the online database and then also within the book, you know, we have it broken down to where you can search by county. So if you live here in Sangamon County, you can look up Sangamon County, see the local programs and local partners we have here locally. If you live in Champaign County, or you do live in Cook County or Lake County, you have that ability to search by county for the local partners that we have in the organizations that you can designate a gift to with the SECA campaign. But of course, the one thing I would love for all of you to consider is making that gift to your United Way Community Impact Fund. You know, a gift to your local United Way is benefiting multiple programs, providing those wraparound services within your community. It's assuring that your community's greatest needs are addressed and that your local organizations are receiving support that they need in order to continue to offer services. Every community fund with every United Way has program performance measures built in. So we can show you what the results of your gift are, the impact that you're making, whether that's the number of meals that have been served, or whether that's the number of seniors who have been able to access medical transportation, or whether it's the number of clients that we've helped to maintain housing. Every program that we work with and that we partner with is producing measurable results so that you as a donor know where your dollars go. And then of course, you know, the biggest thing is that, you know, when you make that gift to United Way, it is a community driven decision. You know, every decision, every program that we fund, every priority that we place is based upon what your community needs are and are determined by members of your community. And so what you'll find is that, you know, the work that we do here in Springfield is a little bit different than the work they do in Champaign, or a little bit different than the work that they do in the Chicago area. And that's because the needs of each of our areas, each of our communities are different from each other. And so as you consider participating inside the SECA campaign, definitely think about United Way, or think about one of the 1,500 local partners that we have within this community. So thank you guys very much for your time today. We are deeply appreciative. And I think, Carrie, do you have any wrap-up words?
Just a general thank you from all of us. Make sure to get your SECA donations in. And let your colleagues know that we have recorded this, and we will make it available so they can learn all about the wonderful charity options they have in the SECA campaign. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Everyone.
Thank you.